Welcome back. In the pots today, we've got an exclusive colorway for the Arcane Fiberworks Yarn Club. This is the June Saturated colorway. So, if you didn't know we have a yarn club, that's right, we did once upon a time. We ended up having some issues with the inventory program. We have got it all fixed up and the yarn club is back. So, we're going to get into this. First thing we're going to do is we're going to throw that yarn into the pans. You can see I've got 4 pots side by side by side by side. We are running the fingering weight. We're going to toss a little bit of soak in there. This is what we would call a low saturation dye. So there's not a ton of water in there, just enough to keep things wet. And what soak basically is a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of water, and that helps drop the pH and lets these acid dyes strike. So across the top here, we're going to throw a little bit of, it's kind of a brownish golden yellow. It leans more towards the rust side of things than anything else. And you can see we don't have any ridges or valleys or anything like that on this one. So we're going to see that dye start to creep across the skeins itself. We want everything to get really, really mixed up on this side at least. Into the center, we're going to throw some of that burgundy purple, just a nice dark, rich purple. Now, like I did say before, this is our saturated colorway. So basically what that means is we're going to have lots of color as far through the skein as we possibly can. We want to get everything mixed. We want to keep it not light, but nice and rich across the colorway itself. So across the bottom, we're going to throw some nice dark green. This is basically some forest green mixed in with a little bit of gunmetal or charcoal, just to kind of darken it up and get it to go a little bit further there. So keeping it nice and dark. Next, we are going to get our fingers in there, get them mixed. We want to push this dye down as far as we possibly can. You want to make sure that it is at least 50% through the skein itself. If not, you're going to get some white spots, and that's not really what we're going for here. So get it in there, get it mixed up, go all the way to the top, all the way back down, get that yarn pushed down, get that dye really nice and deep, and then we're going to cook it off a little bit and get it to set on this side. It doesn't matter if it sets 100%. We are going to cook it off at the end for a little bit longer, but I don't mind the dyes mixing on this colorway. That's kind of what we're going for anyways. We want to have that green to purple to orange fade and have all those colors mix up really, really nice. So crank those pots up to high, get this cooked off. No, I'm not going to make you sit through that, of course. Now these ones here we cooked off for probably a good 7 to 8 minutes, not a ton of time, just long enough to make sure that everything hits and sets. We're going to get these flipped over here really quick. Ooh, it's a little warm. I'm going to have to get my gloves on here, I think. All right, so basically what we are doing here is you've got the dye that's gone about halfway through the skeins themselves. You can see there's still a lot of white on the other side, and we really have that purple that didn't necessarily set, but we didn't want it to set. We want everything to kind of mix and get nice and blended at the end of the day. So the longer you cook it for, the more this is going to set, the more the dye is going to have time to set in the skeins. The less you cook it, the better off that dye is going to move. You're going to get some movement out of the dye, and that's kind of what we're going for here. So get these all flipped over. We've got 20 skeins of fingering weight on our fingering weight base, which is a 80/20 merino nylon superwash. It's absolutely wonderful if you're working with shawls or scarves or blankets or sweaters. It doesn't matter. It's got that little bit of extra nylon in there, which makes it not only super duper soft, but durable. So perfect for socks and things of the sort. All right, we got these all flipped over here. Now what we're going to do on this side is we're going to create a little bit of a ridge here. We call it puffing up the center, or creating a mountain in the center of the yarn. And that's going to allow us to put basically some color into the center, and it's going to bleed off to both sides, but we're not going to have those side colors bleed off into the center. So it helps us keep either a lighter color or a richer color in the center from really being saturated by the green in this case. All right, so across the top, we're going with more of that nice, beautiful rust color, kind of a chocolate brown with some golden yellow. And then across the bottom here, we're going to throw a little bit more green. On the back side here, we're going to go a little bit lighter, a little bit less saturation. We want more of that green to come through rather than pushing it towards the darker gray side of things. Beauty. These colors really play quite well together, and you're going to see it at the end. I haven't told you what the name of this colorway is yet, but it's definitely pushing some fall colors if I was to hint towards anything. All right, so you can see this purple, this burgundy, it kind of splashes onto that mountain, and it stays the color we want it to in the center, but a little bit of it splashes off to each side, so it kind of soaks into the green and the rust color there. And really creates that transition that we're looking for between them while keeping that vibrant burgundy in there exactly where we want it to be. Again, on the backside here, we're going to get our fingers in, get it mixed, get it pushed down, make sure that dye is going as deep as we can get it. Just like so. Yeah, look at that transition. It's really coming together quite nicely. So we've got that we've got that beautiful green moving into the burgundy, moving into the orange, and these colors just play so well together across this skein. Beauty. Get these cooked off. We're going to cook them off for a good 15 minutes. Make sure those colors really set. That burgundy tends to take a little bit longer to set than other colors. And we're going to toss these up on the twister. Now you can kind of see how that red, that burgundy play together with that green and the orange to really pull this colorway together here. It's absolutely beautiful. This is our fingering weight base, which is that 80/20 merino nylon. And like I say every time I do one of these videos, if you're twisting yarn, tuck those ends in. Keeps them really nice, really clean, and kind of transforms how they look. It just brings some neatness to something that otherwise would be a little chaotic. All right, now what we're looking for here is we want basically the center of the skein to highlight as many of the colors as we possibly can, because that tends to be the focal point when people are looking at yarn. So we want to make sure not only are we getting, some nice saturation in the bottom there, but the majority of the colors. So we're getting the red, the orange, the burgundy, that rust color, the green, and they all kind of come together on the bottom half of that skein. Up next, we got the worsted weight. 100% merino nylon. Oh, sorry, no nylon. 100% merino superwash. This is one of my favorite bases to work with. If I'm doing something, I'm going to grab a skein of worsted. Beauty. I love this rust. It's really... We've got a new semisolid. I'm going to show that towards the end as well, but I've got a new semisolid that really highlights that rust color. It's beautiful. Onto the chunky weight base. It's also 100% merino superwash. Nice and fluffy. 100 meters for the 100 gram skein. All of our bases actually come in that 100 grams. So if you're looking at the fingering weights, you get 400 meters. If you're looking at the DK, it's 200 meters. If you're looking at the worsted, it's 166 meters. And if you're looking at the chunky, it's 100 meters. All of them are 100 grams. So we're going to get them all into the light box here. This is the fingering weight base. It's really quite a beautiful colorway. Everything just plays so well into this one. It's probably, honestly, one of my new favorites. Autumn Drive really hit well with the fall colors, but I think this one's kind of taken its place, to be honest. Now this is exclusive only to our yarn club. There is an option to subscribe and save, of course. Or you can just purchase the skeins outright. At the end of June, these will go away. So you've only got probably another week and a half for these to be available. Now, from left to right, we've got the fingering weight, the DK weight, the worsted weight, and the chunky weight. Side by side by side by side. Absolutely love how that chunky came through, and the DK really pulled it off this time too. All right, so into the Eddy Express, we're going to do a quick swatch here. Now, we can really see all these colors are playing quite well together. There's a really nice variegation going on. I don't see any striping or spiraling or anything like that. We do have a little bit of light with dark splotches. And depending on the project, if you're working with a sock, I would expect this to start to spiral a little bit, perhaps. If you were looking at a sweater, I would expect this colorway to really just be quite variegated across the skein. As always, if you're working on a multi-skein project, make sure you alternate rows for skeins. Always a good idea with hand-dyed yarn. Doesn't matter how well that yarn was dyed, there can always be some variations. All right, so Onto the Swift here, I've got the 4-strand tie right here. One of them is the start, one of them is the finish, and the other two kind of wrap around the hank itself to tie it together. I like to start on this one right here. There's usually only 2 ties on our skeins, but this one here is just a 2-strand, so basically it's just the tie itself. There's no start, no finish, nothing like that. And if you give it a quick little tug, it comes out nice and easy. On the other side of things, we've got that 4-strand, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to give it a quick cut here. Now, 2 of these strands will be the tie itself, and the other 2 strands will be the start and the finish of the hank. So give that a little pull, should come out nice and easy. Now, I think on the back side here, it looks like we're tucking up in behind the skein itself. So we're going to continue to tuck that in behind, throw it on top of the Swift, and leave it to the side. This other one seems to be wrapping onto the front of the skein, and that's the one we want to work with. So whether you're, using a couple chairs or a caker, just like I've got here, that's the direction you need to go. Give it a quick twist, throw it on the caker itself. Now we're going to give this a couple quick little spins just to kind of hold everything together, and then we'll get it cranked up to speed here. So there we go. Get it turned right up. I love this process. It kind of gives us a quick glimpse into how all of those colors are going to play together. If you're not doing a swatch or something like that, cakes are a beautiful way to understand how those colors are going to play. Not going to make you sit through the whole thing, of course, but absolutely love how these colors are coming out. Those oranges, those greens, the burgundies, really pulling it all together. Into the light box. Really see how those all play together. So we got those nice light spots that we were seeing in the swatch, playing quite well with all the other colors. We got that green, that burgundy, that rust color, all pulling it together really, really well. And I'm seeing some nice saturation all the way across the cake itself. I'm quite pleased with how this one turned out. Beauty. All right, on to the other side of things. It's time to do the pairings. Now, normally on the website, I would put a goes well with section, but being as this is Yarn Club, we've got 3 separate colorways that we're going to be working with. I do not have a goes well with section. Therefore, this video is the guide. So up first, we have the saturated colorway for the month of June in our Yarn Club, Whispers of Autumn. Up beside that one, I've got Wild Onion, which is a new colorway as well. I really find these 2 burgundies and the green almost pair up so nice together. Up beside that, I've got Easy Breezy Beautiful Cover Squirrel. And this rust color is really what pulled me to this pairing. So you can kind of see, we got that same rust color here as we do on the Whispers of Autumn. It's beautiful, beautiful pairing. All right, up beside Wild Onion, we're going to throw Forest Tapestry. So kind of moving away from the rust and the burgundy and moving into the greens and browns. But I find even if we were to replace Wild Onion, this one would pair up really, really nice with Whispers of Autumn there. And up beside Easy Breezy, we have Golden Bells, which is another new colorway. Lots of oranges, some light yellows, kind of a dirty brown, dirty yellow kind of thing going on here. And I find it pairs up really, really nice with that Easy Breezy. So if I was going to grab Golden Bells, I would probably make sure that I'm pairing it up with Easy Breezy as well and just kind of have that fade go across. On the other side of things, either one of those colorways really goes well with Whispers of Autumn, whether it's Forest Tapestry or Wild Onion. So you could go with either one, no problems at all. On to the semisolids, and I'm quite excited to show this first pairing. So we've got Whispers of Autumn, our June colorway for the saturated Yarn Club. And up beside that, we have that brand new semisolid Rust. And you can really see these 2 colors they play so well together. I am so excited to see this Rust color done up in any kind of project. Absolutely love this pairing. I think it comes across really, really well. On the other side of things, we have Burgundy, which really pairs up quite nice with the burgundy that's in the skein itself. These 2 are literally in Whispers of Autumn, so quite happy with these 2 semisolids. I think they'll pull together quite well. Now on the other side of things, I've got this forest green, which is a little bit lighter than the greens that we have. It's kind of the same tone, just a lighter shade. So it pairs up quite nicely if you're looking to take and pair up with a green. And I would grab any 4 of these semi-solids. Either one, I would grab them and I would throw them in here. This is Juniper, one of our newer green semi-solids, and I really think this is, again, it's the same shade, it's just a little bit darker. So either one of those greens would pair up really, really nice, and that rust color is literally in Whispers of Autumn. Same with Burgundy. Very happy with those pairings. If you wanted to go the safe route, we've got Mouse Gray, which in all honesty, Mouse Gray fits with pretty much everything. Same with Charcoal. Charcoal pairs up really, really nice. And I think either one of these would be a safe substitution if you were looking to just kind of have a gray or a black in there rather than another burst of color. But these 4 here, absolutely love them. All 4 of these semi-solids pair up so nice. So while I'm here, I'm going to share our colorways for the month of June here. This is the light colorway. This one is called Not Another Green, as in a tree knot. This one here is our colorful colorway for the month of June. It is called Tropic Topic. And of course, our June saturated colorway featured today. This one is Whispers of Autumn. All 3 available to the end of June. There is a subscription if you would like, or you can buy them outright. Your choice. End of June, Yarn Club is going away. We're going to start a new club next month. Thanks again for stopping by. We'll talk to you again soon.